Many of you know that Toyota used to make a RAV4 EV, and you know that because you follow Tesla and you love Tesla. And yeah, it's true. They made quite a few, couple thousand RAV4s in California. Yes, with the help of the good folks at Tesla. But did you know that before that, all the way back in 2002, and I guess a little bit around there, they were already making their own Toyota RAV4 EVs. Larry here from the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association is going to walk us through it and tell us about this madness. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza.
So this is an original 2002 RAV4 EV. It was one of 101 that were ever sold to the public. But actually, Toyota started making RAV4 EVs back in 1997 with conductive technology. This one was a later one that had inductive charging technology, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is an original all Toyota RAV4 EV. So it has about 1,100 pounds worth of nickel metal hydride batteries on the bottom of the vehicle. So it actually drives it's very, very stable.
So you got an illustration that shows the batteries right here, right?
Exactly, because I need people to understand where it is. But it is not just a conversion. They actually did a ton of special things for this car. This car is a heat pump air conditioning system. It has aluminum ceramic disc brake rotors, slightly thinner window glass. They did all these special things to make it super efficient, including the front windshield, which is actually has a thin film of metal that when you turn it on, it defrosts the windows like that.
Oh, come on. Why don't we have... It's been 20 years and we still... I would like to have that. And for that matter, thinner windows. That's... You got to wonder, why don't they do that? It's got to be cost, right?
It absolutely was all about cost. What Toyota did back then was all about the best image they could possibly make. And they really worked a best image. Best car they could actually make was this.
Because the volume was low enough that if we spend a little extra on the glass for this, it's not going to kill.
That's correct. And they were also experimenting to see what worked. Now, the batteries in this car were actually developed in 1994. They're made by Panasonic. They're nickel metal hydride. And, but they try to make the car as normal as you could. So when you get in the car, there's a thing called a key, and you put it in and you turn it, and then the car turns on, doesn't make really any sound, but the word ready appears on the dashboard. And the car, you put it in drive and it creeps forward like a regular car. The gauges look regular. Everything looks regular and normal. The whole car is designed to be as normal for the user as they had when they had the gas version of this car.
So even the battery looks normal. The 12 volt, the low voltage, the one that runs the dash lights.
That's
and
correct.
The stereo.
And it actually allows the computer to turn on.
Oh, right.
So that is the battery and the rear shocks are the only thing on this car that are not Toyota and are except for the window tinting.
Now, I will also add that this all looks like they made this special so that it would line up straight where otherwise the motor would be.
That's correct. Well, everything was fit into this bay, and they knew how to fit everything in. This is actually the drive electronics underneath this box, and then underneath that there's a motor about yay big, and that is actually what powers the front wheels of the vehicle. It's not an all-wheel drive vehicle, but this car has front and rear heated seats as well. So, and they really did everything they could to make this car as special and fantastic, and it still runs.
For '02, that is a premium feature.
It was.
Rear heated seats.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that until probably the teens for me.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about what makes this unique. First of all, I did not know that these were ever sold in the U.S. But you're telling me that not only did they sell them, but how many do you think they sold here originally?
Well, there were 1,288 of them produced, and all but 339 were all fleet vehicles that were only provided to electric companies or various companies, mostly in California. Most all of them were California. A handful went up to Oregon, but very, very few. Starting in 2002, actually late 2001, Toyota actually changed their position and they said, you know what, we're going to start making these available to the public, because before that they were all private lease, they were fleet lease vehicles only. And there were 339 that were offered to the public. 101 of them were sold new and the rest were all leased. This car is one of the 101 sold new, and I'm the original owner of it with my wife.
2002 RAV4 EV, one owner. This is the one owner. I mean, that's, and with the original battery. You said that some people have retrofit to newer lithium-ion
Correct.
chemistry, but you're still on nickel.
I'm on the original nickel metal hydride batteries that were built in 2002. My pack was actually swapped out many years ago, but I have 120,000 miles on the car, about 100,000 miles in the battery pack.
It was a factory swap. It was
Factory
a
swap. It was all Toyota parts, 100%
under warranty.
yeah. Well, it was an after warranty thing, but there was a RAV, unfortunately, was involved in a car accident. They had really low miles, and I was able to acquire its pack because it was in better condition than my original pack.
Yeah. So, you can see we keep getting into subsets of subsets of subsets. Let's go to the last one. How many of these are still running with the original battery?
Well, I believe somewhere around 10. There may be some that can move around a parking lot, but they don't really drive as regular cars. I think 5 of them are still in original owner's hands. It's been hard to trace them all, but they are definitely a rare machine that is not a very common sight these days. And I have about 80% of my original range that I can still get out of this car. I have the Toyota scan tool. I've been monitoring the battery health, and that's why I was able to get this super good condition battery pack back 10, 15 years ago, where I swapped out the pack. And but it's still all Toyota parts in this car. It's been phenomenal.
That's crazy. This is an air intake, I'm assuming, even though
This is not an air intake.
because I'll tell you what it looks like is one of those old removable stereo docks.
Well, you're close. What actually it is, I brought this with me today. This is actually the charge paddle. It's J1773, not J1772. This was one of the 4 charge standards that were used back in this era. So back then, there were 7 different electric vehicles made by 6 different manufacturers, and many of them use different charging technologies. This one, basically you plug it in here. Here's a little flap I can electronically open from my dashboard, and it pops that open. But basically you plug that in here and it charges like your toothbrush at night. There's no metal to metal contacts.
I'm surprised that didn't get more traction. That's a pretty...
Well, it's a slick idea, but in 2001, the SAE decided that conductive charging was the way to go. It's a little bit less efficient because you lose a little bit more energy in the induction. So.
This is an adorable radiator.
Yes, the massive radiator that actually cools the electronics on the car, not the battery. The batteries are actually air cooled, and but that's the whole. And down here are the fans for the air conditioning radiator.
Oh,
that's not the air conditioning and heat pump radiator. That's not the. This is what it takes to cool the car.
What is this? A half a pint?
Yeah, I mean it's really tight.
It's really compact.
Really compact. I've done almost nothing to this car since I drove it off the showroom floor. We torqued an axle nut. I've changed a couple of sets of tires and wiper blades. One set of rear shocks and a couple of batteries. And when I say batteries, I mean this.
The 12 volt. The
12 volt.
The pretty
standard. Yeah, it's a normal. I mean, this one I bought from Napa. They only last for so many years.
Right.
And but yeah, it's been a super reliable car. And again, why don't I open up the interior and let you take a look at that?
That's a great idea.
I have a. You'll notice a palm device in this.
Oh yeah.
console.
Yeah.
That is actually has software written by Greg Hansen. It was version 0.9 beta. It's never released, but it actually talks to my batteries and tells me what's going on with, the temperature and the battery charge and battery state. But it's a very normal interior. And the whole idea was to make it as familiar for people to drive as possible.
Yeah. Apart from the quiet, a normal car.
A very normal car. And it drives on the freeway and is governed to 78 miles an hour. I've actually had it over 78 before. Yeah, it drives like a normal car, and it's freeway capable, and you can have 5 adults in the car.
What kind of efficiency are you getting?
It's actually the most efficient electric I've owned. I've owned 7 different electrics over the years. I'm getting around 5 miles per kilowatt hour.
Wow, so 200 watt hours per mile?
Yeah, it's really super efficient.
That's really good.
And
there are very few cars today
that do that.
Get that.
Right.
And that's part of my presentation. By the way, if you guys aren't coming out to these Oregon electric vehicle ride and drive events, how are you going to meet people like Larry? He will be giving a presentation today, and you will have missed it. That's terrible. But it'll be up on the channel, so you can catch it that way. But it's not the same, man. You gotta actually ask him your questions yourself. So yeah, this is great, and you bring it out to a lot of these events. Ray appreciate it, and it still is your driver.
And we still take it to Fred Meyer and Trader Joe's and do all of our shopping and do all of our stuff because it's a regular car. Yeah. And actually, we have to drive it periodically. It won't do well if it just sits. So we drive it. I mean, for years, this was we took our kids to school in this car. We did all of our shopping. We did everything in this car. This was designed and used as a regular everyday car. And it did replace one of our old gas cars. And that's just, been a fantastic experience.
What is the range?
The range was rated at 80 to 100 miles of range originally. I'm down to about 80% of that. So I can still get about 80 if I really push it. I try not to push it that hard these days. But it is a
city car.
It's a city car. Yeah. It's not designed for road trips. Although with my portable charger thing that I showed earlier, I actually have a J7872 plug that I can plug into that and then charge the charger, which then runs the car.
So you could charge anywhere that's got J1772.
That's correct. I can, but I don't. I've actually never used that other than to show it.
You could.
I could, but I don't need it.
Right, because you have the common sense to stay close enough.
Right. This is a city car. This is not, I don't drive this on road trips. That's not what it's made for.
No.
Although I will be talking about one just amazing epic road trip back in 1998 in my presentation.
Why aren't you here? You must join us next time. How much was it?
This originally, after incentives, was around $29,000 in that range.
In 02.
In 02. There were incentives from the federal and state of California gave incentives. So that brought it down. Originally it was a $42,000 car, but there were a lot of incentives to make it at basically the same kind of a range that the regular gas versions were.
So if you liked Toyota Motor Company in 2002, you could have gotten this, or for the same price, a Lexus.
But after all the incentives, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't. And your Lexus would be not a piece of history. It would just be history.
But these were some of their environmental vehicles they had back at the time.
Okay, so
the original Gen Prius for the U.S., there was actually a Gen before that for Japan.
Yes. Okay.
And our RAV4 EV, they had a compressed natural gas Camry.
Oh, wow.
They had a car called the Ecom.
That's adorable. I've never heard of that, never seen it.
Yep. Well, they existed in this era called the MOA era, or the Memorandum of Agreement era, where the state of California basically, I will say, inspired and pressured all 6 manufacturers to make electric cars. And actually, there were electric cars like this made from Nissan and GM, and Toyota obviously has this. Honda had the EV Plus, which was actually my first car, was a Honda EV Plus. And that was the first car we actually had in our driveway. The GM EV1 was the most amazing car. They had the Ford Ranger EV pickup and the S10 pickup, the S10 electric pickup.
It's all in his presentation. That will be on the channel forthcoming. Thank you so much for sharing your cool unicorn with us.
Yep.
Telling us all about it. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What questions should I have asked Larry? You can ask him. I'll see him around. I can ask him for you. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you do, and stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the next grand adventure.